this movie.
Johnny's hilarious.
Is he?
Yeah, and the action's fun. John Badham, who directed this.
John Badham, when he was editing this movie, all he could think is, Johnny Five, shut up. He cut back 50% of the nonsense coming out of which, by the way, the uncut version you would have probably loved even more because this is my life with you. That if it's up to you, you would sit here and just speak nonsense nonstop for hours. And that's what this movie is nonsense.
When he's talking like the 1930s gangster, or when he's reading a book real fast, or shut up. He's like, be quiet, silence. I love that stuff. You can't tell me you didn't laugh.
I don't. I hate it.
You do?
But I understand why you love it. This is who you are.
I'm a simpleton.
You like things that are annoying.
Yeah.
That's who you are. That's your thing.
Tim and Eric show, or I Think You Should Leave, or Auntie Donna's House of Fun.
Welcome to Buzzn The Tower, a podcast dedicated to the movies of the 1980s. Prepare to be stuffed in our DeLorean and taken on a trip through the best decade of film ever.
Hey Mo, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. So if you love Caddyshack, The Goonies, Aliens, Weird Science, Spies Like Us, The Great Outdoors, Empire Strikes Back, The Great Muppet Caper, Pretty in Pink, Predator, Rocky IV, Roadhouse, Say Anything, Real Genius, Short Circuit, Some Kind of Wonderful, Beverly Hills Cop, Akira, Tango and Cash, The Breakfast Club, and They Live, just to name a few, then sit back, relax, and get ready to be entertained. Because we came here to chew bubblegum and podcast about 80s movies, and we're all out of bubblegum. If you haven't already, subscribe to Buzzn The Tower on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever your favorite podcast platform is. And while you're there, leave a review and a 5-star rating. It's a moral imperative! You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, and all social media platforms by searching the tag @Buzzn The Tower. That's BUZZN The Tower. Also, check out our website, buzzinthetower.com, and grab some officially licensed gear. It's so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking some up. Now, if you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. Head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BuzzinTheTower. With memberships as low as $3 a month, you can have access to tons of extra content, and a portion of all proceeds go directly to Save Ferris. Dark shade, darling, dark shade. Buzzn The Tower is brought to you by Sonic Loans. You can find them at sonicloans.com. Max, need input. Get that input, and then you can decide what kind of house you want to get. Blah, 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 blah. Sonic Loans. If you need a loan, if you are refinancing your mortgage, or you're getting your first mortgage ever.
Or you want to buy a robot.
Or maybe you want to buy a house and have a ferret and a raccoon. And
buy a robot.
Yeah, or buy a robot.
It was $1 million.
It was more than $1 million. Weren't they like $10 million each?
In the movie 11, but I'm saying it took $1 million to build the J5 robot.
Do we want to get that deep? However you want to spend your money, whether it be on a frivolous nuclear weapon or... Charlie and his team at Sonic Loans is the place to go to make sure you're not getting gouged on pricing. Reach out to them today. Tell them that Buzzn The Tower sent you. Enjoy the loan refi process or new loan process more than anyone else out there.
NMLS number 1955855. Not available in all states. Not a commitment to lend. Additional requirements apply. Visit sonicloans.com or call 313-488-4888 for more information.
Buzzn The Tower is brought to you by Bolton Legal Group. You can find them at boltonlegalgroup.com. For a free consultation, call 248-595-0001. Max, if I were to steal any type of government weapon, the first thing I would want is excellent legal representation.
I think J5 needed a lawyer.
I love you call him J5. You guys are on a first name abbreviated.
It sounds
first
cool.
Name balance.
I don't know. It's like a very 80s thing.
Bolton Legal Group is the premier collection of you're gonna find prototype 1 through 100 at Bolton Legal Group. They are gonna make sure that they protect you. They're aggressive, they're efficient. Bird law, Johnny Five law, robot sentient artificial intelligence law. Reach out to Bolton Legal Group today. Get that consultation. They'll help you, they'll hold you, they'll hug you.
They will?
Whatever you need. They're gonna if you've got an ex-boyfriend that's trying to steal your dog for experimentation, they're gonna protect you from that. Reach out today, tell them the Buzzn The Tower sent you, and enjoy the legal experience. Today's episode, Short Circuit. 80s movies had no shortage of robot love. Don't believe me? R2D2 and C3PO, the Iron Giant, Robocop, the T-800, SICO from Rocky IV, Jinx from SpaceCamp, Max, not Sanders, from Flight of the Navigator, and many more. But one robot, for better or for worse, stands out from the pack. In 1986, NOVA Robotics broke the mold when they introduced us to Strategic Artificial Intelligence Nuclear Transport, or S.A.I.N.T as we call it, prototype number 5. Today on Buzzn The Tower, we're going to disassemble Johnny 5 and talk about Max's favorite movie, Short Circuit. I'm Mo Shapiro, and joining me as always, the Ally Sheedy to my Steve Guttenberg, Max Sanders. And with that...
Hello, salutations, greetings, ciao, konnichiwa.
I am now almost 3 years into the podcast ready to say this. This is the last episode you pick.
No!
Yeah.
Real Genius was a big one for us.
Max,
What?
this and Splash almost killed
Don't you
me.
dare compare this to Splash. People love J5.
Can I come out the gate with my strongest take on this movie?
That this is the greatest robot movie ever assembled?
It is the most anti-Semitic movie of the 80s.
For one people.
For one people?
Yeah.
What's for one people mean?
Well, it wasn't racist towards all people.
It was anti-Semitic. That's
nope.
what.
Soul Man.
Again, I think you.
Soul Man.
It's incredible.
What?
Was Soul Man anti-Semitic, Max?
It gave a lot of black stereotypes, yeah.
Do you know what anti-Semitic means? It's anti-Jewish, you genius.
Well, Indian is it's where you're from, right? It's not Semitic.
Do you even know what I'm referring to in this movie?
Filibuster.
You're a moron. I hate this movie. I hate you.
Wait, what?
Do you know the joke in this movie, the anti-Semitic joke that's in this movie? Do you even remember it?
The Indian guy?
No, not his character. His character is next to Soul Man, the most culturally inappropriate character.
So what's the anti-Semitic one?
There at the end of, I'll jump right into it. I'm not even gonna give my intro to anything. Do you remember when they're in the desert and Guttenberg is trying to identify?
Oh, the Jew joke.
That is a really offensive anti-Semitic joke plopped into the middle of a children's film.
I like money. I don't know.
Oh,
Mr. Krabs over here.
Who
I like money.
Stayed up last night and watched Short Circuit. I did, Max. Who regrets it this morning and all the day? I did, Max.
So we're on the same thing that we watch, so I can tell when you're watching the movie. And I was like, he's not enjoying this.
Nope. Did you see it? I got like 30 minutes into it and then took a day off and then came back to it.
Yeah, you watched today, didn't you?
Yeah, the rest of it. Yeah. Oh, God.
This is a tour de force from Ally Sheedy.
It's Pierre de Resistance, if you will. Max, welcome to the show.
Hello.
If this is your first time, listening
sorry.
to this, we're real sorry. It's a banger. Good old short. Oh, Johnny, he said.
You can't do the 80s without J5.
Yeah, J5 is.
He's adorable.
I will say, God, there's so many things I want to say to you because I think this episode is just going to be therapy for you. I think I finally understand who you are.
Because I'm happy-go-lucky and I love TV.
Nope. This isn't.
I want to be a real boy. Is this Pinocchio?
Yes. This is everything that's wrong with you. Is this movie? We're gonna
I'll take it. What's your movie? What's your cycle?
Probably
in terms of endearment.
Endearment.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean, you moron. I hate you so much. I've been on a streak of 5 episodes of being like, I think considerably nice to you. That all ends today. I'm out for blood. I'm so mad that you picked this damn movie.
I really kind of we have to do 3 podcasts in a 3-day period, so I kind of jammed it in on you.
Yeah, because I was like, the other 2 I was happy about, not this one.
You want to tell what the other ones are?
Yeah, we're doing Beetlejuice tomorrow, and then we're doing recasting Breakfast Club. Yeah, so those are great.
I wish we could find the clip when we first started recasting. You're like, well, I'll never recast Breakfast Club.
Wow, you are just ripping through the English language today.
I know.
And I'm here to be all over it. I'm going to make you uncomfortable. I'm going to make you feel bad.
Miami.
Welcome to the show. If this is your first time joining us, I'm sorry. If it's not your first time, or if it is your first time and you're into Short Circuit, please make sure that you follow and subscribe to our show. Leave a review. Check us out on any social media platform by finding our tag at Buzzn The Tower, Buzzn The Tower. We also have a Patreon, which is going to die and shrivel up and disappear after this Johnny 5 episode.
No!
Patreon.com/Buzzn The Tower, where you can contribute to the cause. And then above and beyond everything else, if you're looking for a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, some gear, visit our website, BuzznTheTower.com, for exclusively licensed merchandise.
We're going to get J5 G-strings on there.
We're not. That's a weird, even for you, weird thing. So great.
His little arms will be in the straps.
All 3 of them.
Yeah.
Dum. Facts.
J5's packing?
No, he's got 3 arms. You don't know that?
No.
Can't wait to get to facts. I got facts for you, Max.
Wow.
I got facts for Max. That's all I got on this movie is facts, buddy. Facts for Max. Today we're talking about Short Circuit.
Yeah.
The greatest movie ever made.
Did you know you hated this before?
Nope. It's a great example of like Splash.
Yeah.
When I was like, oh, I remember liking Splash, and then I watched it. I was like, no. Short Circuit sat through, like, I couldn't even watch the opening 30 minutes of this movie. It's poorly made. It's poorly shot.
It's good action.
It's totally miscasted, which, by the way, some of the actors in this even admit to. It's awful.
So wait, the robot itself is amazing, though. It's unique.
I like the robot.
It's unique.
I also like the SICO robot in Rocky IV. Happy birthday, Polly.
Yeah. Everyone
I am Johnny 5.
Yeah.
No disassemble.
Why do you do the Indian accent for no disassemble? It's J5 that says it.
I know, because the guy who does the Hindu, which we're going to talk all about that too, man.
So when we quote him, can we do the Indian accent?
No, you can't. It is not appropriate at all. Actually, we shouldn't even talk about this. Is on the level of Soul Man, where Can
we do Soul Man?
No, we don't even talk about that movie because it's blackface. This is brownface, buddy. This is flat out brownface. Like,
he did go to India for 5 weeks.
Who cares? Who cares?
I don't know.
It's still brownface.
What's his name? Ben Kingsley won an Oscar for playing Gandhi.
Yeah. I think comparing his performance as Gandhi to this performance,
it's 1A, 1B. It's close.
It's really close.
Name me a better brown face. I'll wait.
Name me a better brown face. Let's get that out of t-shirt right away.
Tropic Thunder.
It's blackface, not brown face.
I mean, it's brown in color.
Max, are we done with this horrible part of the show? Let's get to the next horrible part of the show. Can I share with you what this movie's about? Because I feel like that's a lot of fun.
It's a robot. This makes me so happy.
Because you're sick. Why you take joy from this is beyond me.
There's pods that do bad movies all the time.
All right, Max. Well, number 5, J5, as his friends call him, one of a group of experimental military robots, undergoes a sudden transformation after being struck by lightning. He develops self-awareness, consciousness. He becomes self-aware, just like
what?
Terminator, just like Skynet. This would be a way better movie if this, instead of Nova, it was Skynet that made Johnny 5.
He gets mad. His red eyes. In 2, he becomes Rambo.
He develops self-awareness. We're not talking about 2. I can promise you that.
Los locos kick your butt.
Yes.
Los locos kick your face.
Just take a deep breath. Consciousness and a fear of reprogramming that awaits for him back at the factory. With the help of a young woman, number 5 tries to evade capture and convince his creator that he truly has become alive.
Yeah, and it becomes apparent when he laughs at the anti-Semitic joke.
Yeah. That's how you know you're a real human. It's not when you cry or when you save another life or you give birth. It's when you enjoy a good anti-Semitic
So a naked
joke.
woman walks in a bar with a salami in one hand and a poodle in the other. That's the joke from Breakfast Club.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, remember when he's in the ceiling?
Nope, don't remember that.
And he never finishes it. He falls.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I went on Reddit and tried to find out what the end was.
Well, for a minute, I'm like, where are you going with this? So I'm glad you explained that to me.
Yeah. You're like, what kind of show is this?
So I want to start before we get into the facts, Max. Before we do that, I want to share with you that I think there's something wrong with you. And I haven't quite pinpointed what it is outside of like your general inability to speak English. I think the other problem is...
You really picked a great podcast partner.
I daily there's something really wrong with me too. There's something very wrong with me.
What's different? You were cool in high school and I wasn't.
No. But have you ever been cool?
I can fake it.
Yeah. Can you?
The rave stuff and like the tattoos and the bartender stuff, it's all facade.
You're at your coolest, in my opinion, when you're not talking about Splash and Short Circuit. That's when I like you the most.
Well, those are the things I like. I don't like Splash the most, but I like this the most. I mean, he's happy-go-lucky and he just loves living and he wants to learn.
2 of your favorite movies ever made are Howard the Duck and Short Circuit.
I love the underdogs.
No, I think it's more than that.
The weirdos?
I think you like when lead female characters develop affection and sexual tension with like stone inanimate objects.
There's no sexual tension with Ally Sheedy and Johnny.
Oh, there is.
Is there? So they're dancing?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is for sure skipping ahead.
More than a woman.
So when they screened this, the audience booed and hissed. Hissed. Have you ever been around someone hissing? So they booed and hissed the movie because the built up romance and tension between Johnny 5 and Ally Sheedy was so much. They tapered it down.
They wanted more or they wanted less?
They wanted much less.
Okay.
And it still exists. And so much so that Ally Sheedy, being the incredible method actor she was, treated Johnny Five as an actor the entire film.
Well,
often saying it made her feel lonely, that she was never receiving any reciprocation of her emotions towards this inanimate object.
Where'd you get this research?
Max, I do a lot of research on movies.
Not usually. You kind of just wing it.
I kind of do just wing it.
But where did you find this?
I found all kinds of stuff, but I will also share with you, Max.
You gotta hate research more often.
Going back, I know it's so true. Going back to why you've got some weird thing going on. Howard the Duck,
yep.
Leah Thompson, and the tension with that awful duck, and now Johnny Five and Ally Sheedy. Is this a reflection of? Are you a robot? Are you emotionally a robot?
Like I'm a broken toy?
Yeah. What is with you?
What do you mean put me back together? I don't know.
I want to put you back together.
Yeah.
Why do you like this movie?
Johnny's hilarious.
Is he?
Yeah, and the action's fun. John Badham, like who directed this.
John Badham, when he was editing this movie, all he could think is, Johnny Five, shut up. He cut back 50% of the nonsense coming out of which, by the way, the uncut version you would have probably loved even more, because this is my life with you. That like if it's up to you, you would sit here and just speak nonsense nonstop for hours, and that's what this movie is nonsense.
When he's like talking like the 1930s gangster, or when he's reading a book real fast, or like they're like shut up, he's like be quiet, silence. Like I love that stuff. You can't tell me you didn't laugh.
I don't. I hate it.
You do,
but I understand why you love it. This is who you are.
I'm a simpleton.
You like things that are annoying.
Yeah.
That's who you are. That's
like
your thing.
Tim and Eric show, or I Think You Should Leave, or Auntie Donna's House of Fun.
All right, Max, let's just
Do you like any of that stuff?
Thank God, never seen any of it. Real excited.
Okay, yeah, it's uncomfortable, weird humor.
You're uncomfortable and weird and humor. The designers of of Johnny Five.
Are we doing facts?
Yeah, we're going to facts.
Okay.
Sid Mead and Eric Allard, they worked hard to make sure that this did not look like R2D2, did not look like C3PO.
They nailed that.
They wanted to make sure that this was a futuristic looking robot. I am going to email you a picture. Their biggest inspiration, it was from an organ playing robot at a robotics exhibition at the Tsukuba Expo in Japan, and it had cameras for eyes. Did you know about this?
No.
I have the picture of what it looks like. I kind of see how it made them think that was the robot.
Maybe that was the inspiration for the scene where he's playing the piano too, with the robot hand.
Yeah, why not?
Robots are all in the 80s. It felt like by the time we were in the 2000s, we were going to have like kind of Johnny Five robots. Didn't it feel like that?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah. No. The future's kind of sucked.
Yeah.
It's just faster internet.
I thought we would have hoverboards by now. That's what I was excited for.
Or hover cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do have hover cars.
What do you mean?
We have flying cars. They're not like accessible to everyone, but I've seen someone was just flying.
But they have like helicopter things. It's not. I thought they'd be just like
magnets.
Yeah. You didn't think we'd have robots by now?
Who knows, Max?
Yeah.
It took a dozen people to operate Johnny Five at one time.
Yeah, that sounds right. He looks. I mean, he's 250 pounds.
He's big.
Yeah.
He's big. When they so. I'm sure you have the numbers on. I mean, this was a smash success. What was the box office?
It made $40 million on a $15 million budget.
And of that $15 million budget, 10% of that budget was just for the Johnny Fives.
It makes sense. It's the coolest part. Like the little, like the kind of tire tank things, his thin arms.
Yeah.
And we talked about how Sid Mead wanted it to be a realistic robot. But the one thing that he didn't want was the eyebrows, which John Badham wanted for, you know, like kind
expression.
of. Yeah. That's what makes Johnny Five Johnny Five.
Yeah.
Like that's what I love about it.
I love listening to you speak passionately about Johnny Five.
Well, he's just wonderful. All he wants to do is make friends and hang out and like just live his life.
So John Badham, who we'll talk about him when we go over the character breakdowns, but he was the director of Saturday Night Fever and also the director of Blue Thunder. And he did callbacks to both of those movies.
What's the Blue Thunder one?
So do you remember Blue Thunder?
Yeah.
So do you remember the proving ground scene? Where it's like in front of the military and they're showing them how it works. And they're also that's literally the exact same scene in Johnny Five.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. At the beginning when he's making him the gin and what was it?
Gin and tonic. Yeah.
Gin and tonic.
And
with
also
a squeeze of lemon.
Lime.
Shame on me for even quoting this movie.
They talk about it being like, I'm not James Bond. It's like, that's a gin and tonic. It's not a martini.
Well, you could have a gin martini.
Yeah, but it was a gin and tonic.
I know.
Yeah.
Good point, Max. Good point.
But by the way, Blue Thunder has the creepiest stalking scene of all time. Oh, yeah. They're just watching this woman naked do yoga through the window.
Blue Thunder's a great movie. I love Blue
Thunder. For that scene?
No, Max. No, sir.
Daniel Stern, what's up? Wet Bandit.
Yeah. So Wilson and his co-writer, Brent Maddock, couldn't figure out how Johnny Five comes to life. The original script.
The lighting's great.
So this is where you and I differ. The original script was going to make this thing like Robocop. They're like, yeah, he had a human brain. And
no, that doesn't work.
I'm like, this is great. OCP, Murphy's murdered. They put him in Johnny Five and he falls in love with Lois. I'm fine with that. I guess the original script on this was like darker and it was better, and then they just Disneyfied the whole thing. They turned it in this like light, fluffy thing. It was totally miscasted. And I'm going to talk about, when we get to the characters, one of whom was interviewed, but he brings up a great point, which is Guttenberg and Sheedy. Guttenberg is like this handsome police academy, 3 men and a baby.
It doesn't make sense that he's a robot.
And he's an awkward nerd who's not even that awkward and integrates fine. And Ally Sheedy, I'm very conflicted about her career in general. I'm not a huge Ally Sheedy fan. She was grotesque in this movie.
So this is her worst performance?
Ever.
Yeah, but I kind of like the kind of...
You love
the cardboardness.
Just eat the garbage, you raccoon.
Like, it looks like she's reading off a script card. Like, she almost sounds like one of those 1950s transatlantic, like, how do you do?
The hardest thing for me to wrap my head around on these kind of movies, and
her hair looks like a football,
is how quickly emotional connections are established between inanimate objects. This is Leah Thompson in love with Howard the Duck 12 hours after meeting Howard the Duck.
Yeah. If you met a female duck.
No, Max, I'd be good.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd fall in love that fast.
What about J5?
No, J5, I could see being romanced by that slick son of a gun.
Although it is, I have to, every time I see this movie, I'm like, he doesn't sleep, does he? So it's like, how do you stay with him the whole time? Because there's got to be like 8 hours where he's just doing stuff.
He's the most annoying. You know what? You're Johnny Five.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's also the case. He originally was going to be stop motion. And this, I will give credit where credit's due. I think one of the things that Badham did that was smart is by making it practical effects instead of stop motion, it gave everyone on scene the ability to have like a human interaction with what was going on. Remember like Who Framed Roger Rabbit? How they had the whole green screen.
Yeah.
And he had the costumes so that people could make eyeball
They did
contact.
the same thing here. It's
no,
incredible.
they used that.
Oh, no, I mean like.
They had the actual robot.
Yeah,
so there was like no imagination required. You could interact directly and talk directly. Again, I'm pushing this off until we talk about the characters, but the puppeteer and the voice, the same guy, they had him actually doing it on scene. They dubbed over better versions of it later.
Yeah, but that's
they
the way to
wanted
do it.
people to interact. Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did Johnny have lips?
No, but he said the other guys had laser lips. I know you're a huge
Your
fan
mama
of that.
was a snowblower.
God, I hate you so much. Johnny Five's third arm. The scene where he's making breakfast, you can clearly see he has a third arm, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah.
With the pancakes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back and watch that.
Watching him make pancakes made me laugh every time.
Of course. What in this movie doesn't make you laugh?
G.W. Bailey.
Yeah. How could you go wrong when you've got G.W. Bailey and frickin' Guttenberg? You got Harris and Mahoney. It goes together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Tango and Cash. I mean, it's perfect.
And Benjamin Fisher's funny too.
Yeah.
This role is kind of funny, right? Well, I just like how he's like, it's like
I like how he was hired and then fired.
Well, we created Frankfurter's Monster, or I have to use the Jack. It's like, no, the John. Like his English?
Yes, his broken English. So
where are you from? Pittsburgh.
They hire him. They hire him.
Yep.
Because originally the character is supposed to be like waspy, right?
Yep.
They change their minds. They want to go Hindu. They fire him and they hire Balky.
Yeah, Bronson. Bronson Pinchot.
Yeah. They then are like, no way. They go back to him and they're like, can you do a Hindu accent? And he's like, yeah, just give me some time.
Goes to India for 5
weeks. He does yoga for a month and then comes back with the most like racist trope ever.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Now, so at first he used to defend it, but now in today's woke world, he's just like, yeah, it was a mistake. I wouldn't do that again.
Well, do you know, like people from India were super confused.
They thought it was the actual, they thought there's a Bollywood actor that looks just like him.
Yeah, I looked it up.
You should show that picture on, we should probably stay away from it. So here's a cool fact. Yep. I sent you this picture too, or I'm going to send you this picture. Wes Craven recycled Johnny Five's chassis for his killer robot movie, Deadly Friend.
Really?
Have you seen Deadly Friend?
No.
I've not either, but I saw the picture and it is most clearly Johnny Five. Speaking of recycling Johnny Five, I can't imagine why it took until doing this episode. Wally is Johnny Five.
Oh yeah, it's like he's shrunk down.
It's the little the tank thing. Yeah, it's Wally and the eyes, the expressive eyes.
No, you're right. Yeah.
So I guess like the creator of Wally was like, oh yeah, I saw Short Circuit once, and like maybe subconsciously.
Wally's great.
When you partially admit to something in this industry, that means you totally stole it.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't steal it, he would have been like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But instead he's like, oh yeah, I watched Short Circuit once.
Hey, great artist steal.
Yeah, I guess.
I steal all the time.
Yes, you do.
I took $5 from your wallet before this movie came out.
That's awesome. You stole my time by making me watch this movie.
I did. It's funny, since we're doing like a bunch of movies at once, I was about to say Wes Craven was the first director chosen for this movie, but that's for Beetlejuice.
Yeah. just relax.
Short Circuit with Wes Craven would have been good.
Just relax.
Well, that's that movie you probably talked about.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about Short Circuit?
So there's rumors of a reboot.
Yeah, I saw
with
that too.
Fisher Stevens returning.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's
and
really
the script
good.
for that was that a boy from a bad family becomes friends with J5.
Okay.
So kind of like Iron Man 3, but like more serious.
Yeah, I guess. Kind of like, yeah, there you go.
So do you know
the sequel? Go ahead.
Do you know what the purpose of these robots were? It was kind of weird.
Yeah, they're to kill.
No, their purpose. One of the generals explains in the beginning. They're supposed to just
keep peace. They keep the peace. They drop them. They drop them in behind enemy lines, and then they come up behind everyone and detonate with giant explosions and kill everyone.
Yeah, so like they don't
keep the peace.
They don't need to. They could have just used a remote control car. Do you know what I mean? Like it's literally a nuclear bomb.
So this is where you draw the line. You say, "Oh, I see a plot hole." Well, everything else you're fine with, but this you have an issue with.
Well, the lightning checks out. I've done that.
The lightning checks out. I put my toaster one night, and it was a horrible storm.
The brave little toaster.
And then it became so brave, and I cried watching it. It came up into my house. It was like, Max, kill me.
My blankie wanted to commit suicide. Leave me here.
Kill me. I'm blankie. Thank you. I needed that.
I
needed that. No, you're good. I needed that.
You know what the kill count in this movie was? A lot of murder.
There's not any murder in this movie.
J5's double. You know the one he makes at the end.
Yes.
And the grasshopper.
All right. It's a lot of murder.
Reassemble grasshopper. No, that's when he realized what death is.
Let me tell you the only thing about this movie that I like. That it was shot in Astoria, Oregon.
Yeah.
Same as Kindergarten Cop and The Goonies.
It does feel it too.
It does. It does. So the sequel did not have Ally Sheedy or Steve Guttenberg.
It had Ally Sheedy's voice on it.
10 seconds of her voice.
Yeah. That's enough.
Ally Sheedy was too expensive.
Yep.
And Guttenberg just didn't do it. And to this day has the nerve to say, I regret not doing it, which is insane to me that he regrets not doing it.
So 2's good though.
2 was a box office bomb.
2's got what's it called? The main dude from Spinal Tap.
I know. It was still a bomb.
Yeah. They made little Johnny Five robots.
Good. 2 was good.
I saw 2 has one of the saddest scenes in movie history.
Yeah. No, for sure.
When they hate crime, J5. We've talked about this.
Was this their way to offset what happened in the first one? The anti-Semitic joke.
It's really sad. They're just destroyed. There's engine fluid everywhere.
I can't believe that this
gasoline
is a conversation
bleeding
that we're
out
having
of
right now. It's unbelievable to me. Max, I lied. There's a couple other things I love about this movie. When you hear the sound of Johnny's laser, do you know what that is?
No.
That is the sound of the proton packs powering up in Ghostbusters.
No way.
It's the same sound effect.
That's cool.
I thought that was very cool.
Did you recognize it or did you find that out after?
It was one of those things where I remember,
you tilted your head like a confused
but then
dog.
when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, there you go. So I think I mentioned him. I will hop to this guy. So Timothy Patrick Blaney, he's a puppeteer and a voice actor. He did Johnny Five. He also did Frank the Pug in Men in Black and Men in Black 2.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those. Yeah. But he was Johnny Five. Johnny Five is what set his career off. Badham was insistent upon using his voice on set rather than dubbing over out of production so that people could interact with Johnny Five.
So he wasn't originally who they were going to voice for.
Correct.
Yeah.
They liked it and they stuck with it.
So his voice is the most endearing part of this movie, I think. Don't you think?
Sure.
It's unique. It's adorable.
I don't know that there's anything endearing in this movie, but sure, we'll say yes.
What compares to his voice? What sounds like him?
Oh, wow. I don't even know.
I don't think there's anything.
Happy birthday, Polly.
Yeah, no, because it's kind of helium. Beautiful animal, canine, dog, mutt.
C3PO had kind of that kind of.
Oh, dear.
Uniqueness.
Oh,
my.
Well, he's he's an R2D2 C3PO combined.
Hybrid. Yeah. Their love child.
Yeah.
Kill me.
Number 5 is alive.
You love number 5.
Well, his energy and just his.
Why have you not gotten a number 5 tattoo? I'm shocked of all the tattoos you've gotten that you haven't gotten a short circuit tattoo.
So this Jewish joke that he tells is actually kind of accurate because it's so intricate with all the parts. It would take a lot of time for not that much input.
Oh man,
it would be too expensive.
Too expensive. There you go.
No disassemble.
Keep running those tropes and being racist. It's fantastic.
But
By the way, do you know what's funny? Who's the actor that plays the Hindu guy?
Benjamin Fisher.
Yeah. So Benjamin Fisher takes all this flack for playing this Hindu guy, right?
Yep.
Brown facing, and he's in a movie that has the most anti-Semitic joke. It's not part of the film. It's not like Schindler's List, which has anti-Semitic stuff in it, but for a reason. And he himself is Jewish.
Oh my God.
Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
Yeah.
He's in Succession too.
Yes, I've never gotten into Succession.
Yeah. Have you watched Hackers?
Yes.
He's the plague.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's really good in that.
Yeah.
By the way, I just watched Time Cop for the first time. It's great too.
Keep your focus, Max.
Okay.
Keep your focus. The Three Stooges sequence required 18 puppeteers per robot. That's a lot of puppeteers. That's a lot of hands. A lot of hands, a lot of robots.
Were you a Three Stooges guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not. I mean, like I'd watch it if it was on, but it wasn't anything I was like passionate about.
It's funny.
It's all right.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, again, it fits your MO really well.
Yeah.
When Johnny Five is flipping through all those pages to create input, do you know how that effect was created?
No.
You don't?
Oh,
I'm
wait,
kinda
wait.
Surprised.
Oh, it's an air hose.
An air hose that
Yeah.
was just blowing air. Yeah. He
Yeah.
wasn't really doing that with his hands.
The sound is great. Try to do it. It's fun to like try.
I don't want to. Yeah, no, you're good.
It's like you're getting smart like right away. Try it.
I don't want to.
I know everything.
Don't want to. The coin flipping, there was a carefully hidden wire, which was attached to the coin. That's how you had that consistent coin flipping.
See, that's what I like about the 80s, practical effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you like about that. He's a robot that needs to flip a coin.
He doesn't need to. He wants to.
Ally Sheedy and John Badham had previously worked together on War Games, so that's why he brought her in.
Did he tell her to be like terrible?
She was so bad in this movie.
Because her acting otherwise is really good. So I don't understand.
Is it though?
Breakfast Club, she's pretty on point, man.
I know, but like, what else aside from that?
War Games, she's very lovable in that.
Yeah.
Oh, and Bad Boys, which you haven't seen yet. She's
Yeah,
She's
right.
Sean Penn's girl. She gets.
I need to see it. So Short Circuit somehow outperformed other movies in '86, like Pretty in Pink and Little Shop of Horrors. Like, how does that happen?
Because people love robots.
I love this movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, no joke. To this day, people quote to me all the time.
Max, opening weekend, 5 million. The film went straight to the number one at the box office. That's wild. Wild.
In 86, which is a great movie year.
I guess.
I mean, not excluding this movie, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Max, I'm almost out of facts. Do you have any good Johnny Five facts for the fans?
G.W. Bailey's character was named Scroter, so they could make scrotum jokes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Low-hanging fruit.
Is that all you got, Max?
When-
Is that the gem that you were sitting on?
when Frank falls on the porch, that wasn't in the script. You can see Ally Sheedy laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a terrible boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's really bad.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. All time, I think. Let's see. Oh, the gangster movie Johnny Five is imitating is Scarface, the original, the 1932 one.
Oh, I didn't
by
know
Howard
that.
Hughes. Yeah.
All right,
Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
I've never seen that one. I just seen the Al Pacino one with the saw.
Ha!
It doesn't sound like that in that movie.
Hooah!
Let's see. Oh, I thought this was cool. They actually thought about this. J5 slowly goes from referring to himself in the third person to the first person, from number 5 is alive to I am alive, showing his kind of adaptability to consciousness.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is brilliant. It's very deep, very Orwellian.
It is.
I hate you. Don't talk deep about this movie to me ever again. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. You have some nerve.
And lasers. Lasers are cool.
Yeah, lasers are cool. All right, Max. Well, look, I think we've done all we can to try to salvage this episode. Why don't we take a break from our sponsors and then come back and talk about the characters?
Triage.
Buzzn The Tower is also brought to you by Adobe Real Estate. You can find them at weareadobe.com. If you're buying a house, if you're selling a house, I've told you once, I've told you 100 times, no disassemble, Max. No disassemble.
You could have bought the J5 house.
I could have.
Yeah.
It's
sold for $340,000 in November.
Right next door to the Goonies house.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm throwing out some facts.
Yeah.
Adobe Real Estate is the only group that you need to work with if you're thinking about buying or selling a home. And if you need a little extra money, you got to save somewhere. So get out of your house at a great price or get into your new house at a low one. Take that extra money and invest it in something. Perhaps
a robot.
A robot. Get yourself a robot. Max, I have nothing else to say other than you will never regret going to Adobe Real Estate. You might regret watching Short Circuit. So reach out to Simon and his team. 400 million in sales in 2021, 1,000 homes sold. There is no one better. Trust me. All right, Max, we're in the home stretch.
We're back.
Let's wrap
You're
this bad
mad.
boy
I'm
up.
black.
1986, directed by John Badham. We talked about Saturday Night Fever in 77, Blue Thunder in 83, War Games in 83, Short Circuit in 86, Stakeout in 87, Bird on a Wire in 90. Did you ever see Bird on a Wire?
No, it's good.
It's good.
Stakeout's great.
It's classic.
You missed,
Goldie Hawn Kong and Kurt Russell. It's a great combo.
you missed American Flyers.
I don't care about American
Ray Dong
Flyers.
Chong and Kevin Costner riding bikes.
Meh.
I don't know. I'd like to see their baby. They're handsome.
God, you say the weirdest things. Written by S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock, these guys were a writing pair. Now, there's one fascinating thing about this that I found cool. I don't know if it would mean anything to you. Prior to doing the Short Circuit film with each other,
Yep.
S.S. Wilson did 2 episodes on one of my favorite 80s cartoons. Have you ever seen Mask?
No, you talk about it all the time.
Mask Crusaders.
It's like there's like a tiger mask, right?
Mask.
It's like a white tiger mask.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But I do know that There might be. I don't remember. It's a weird thing for you to remember. I'd love to see that property sold and made into a live action movie.
Yeah, like Transformers.
Like R-rated.
Yeah.
And gritty.
Okay.
Not like Short Circuit.
It's a gritty movie.
So Wilson additionally, after Short Circuit, did Batteries Not Included in 87.
Yep.
Tremors in 90. Ghost Dad with the foot shit, the pudding pop, Theo, 1990. And of course, the Wicked Wild Wild West in 1999.
That's a good, like, as a crew together, I would brag about that all the time.
Yeah. Brent did all of these movies except for Mask with him. So
you missed, I can't believe you missed this.
On purpose. Everything I do is on purpose.
No, there's an uncredited added writer who added to this. If you look at IMDb, there's a third writer.
I won't look.
Do you know who it is?
Nope, I don't care.
It's Jay Tars.
Who's that?
It's Coach Finstock. Everything is cream cheese.
I'll tell you what, that actually makes perfect sense that he was involved in this movie.
They're just like, you got good life advice. What should you do?
Jesus Christ, Max. Unbelievable.
Never date a woman with a tattoo of a dagger.
Oh, my God.
Don't play cards with a guy who has the name
I'm
of the
not
state.
going back through Teen Wolf with you right now. Ally Sheedy, who plays Stephanie Speck. She was Jennifer in War Games in 83. Allison for The Breakfast Club in 85. Leslie in St. Elmo's Fire in 85. I liked her more in St. Elmo's Fire than I did in Breakfast Club, by the way.
She's kind of lame.
I know, but I thought she was lame both, whatever.
No, Breakfast Club, she's great.
Whatever you say, Max. She's Stephanie in
Although
Short Circuit.
she shouldn't have got the makeover at the end. She was beautiful the way she was.
Yeah. Stephanie in Short Circuit and Jesse Montgomery in Made to Order, which I did like Made to Order. Do you remember that movie at all? It's a classic rags to riches story. Riches to rags story. Spoiled little brat. Fairy godmother visits her. All of a sudden, she no longer exists in her reality, and she's like a broke maid who has to like take care of her dad's house.
It sounds terrible. It's like a nightmare.
It's great. Well, for you, this is your nightmare story.
And she was the ticket agent in Home Alone 2.
She was uncredited. No. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's
whatever.
there.
She was desperate for work. Guttenberg.
The Goots.
The Goot. Newton Crosby. All right. The Goot took the 80s and put it in a headlock and choked it out. I didn't even put all of his movies in here. He's Eddie in Diner, because I know you love Diner in 82. Carrie Mahoney. Police Academy in 84.
I didn't know his first name was Carrie.
Police Academy 2 in 85. Jack in Cocoon, 85. Police Academy 3 in 86. Short Circuit in 86. Police Academy 4 in 87. Three Men and a Baby in 87. Cocoon in 88.
Cocoon 2.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Cocoon the Return.
Yeah.
Not Cocoon 2.
Well, you said just Cocoon.
Cocoon Deuces. So I'm going to jump to Austin Pendleton, who played Howard Marner.
The boss?
The boss.
He was kind of charming.
So Austin Pendleton, the only thing I care about that you need to hear is the role of his life.
Father
Max.
of Tuck Pendleton.
Yep. He was the henchman, or the assistant henchman in the Muppet movie. His name was Max, just like you.
What's
How do
up?
you like that?
He's in My Cousin Vinny, too.
What was he in My Cousin Vinny?
He was John Gibbons.
What was his role, though?
Mr. Gibbons.
The attorney. He was the crappy attorney.
Yeah.
That's who he was.
Yeah.
You didn't remember. You just read the name on IMDb. Do you remember how his one buddy had the crappy attorney and he had his Uncle Vinny?
Yeah.
Cousin Vinny.
His Uncle Vinny?
Didn't you see the sequel, Uncle Vinny? Hey, I'm walking here.
Use guys.
Do I amuse you?
Use dues.
But when he was interviewed, he was the one who was like openly said, I was really disappointed how the movie turned out versus how the script was. And he talked to Badham about this and said, why did we cast this handsome, incredible actor and this beautiful, incredible actress for these roles that didn't fit? And Badham was like, studio made me do it.
Oh.
So I think that there is a softening of this movie to make it a kid's movie. That's why I don't like it.
I like that. I can feel the friction that they don't like it, and it makes me happy.
Get me out. Kill me.
I like the forced idiocy.
Jesus Christ, Max.
It's like Ben Affleck when he was on Armageddon. He asked Michael Bay, he's like, wouldn't it be easier to train astronauts to be diggers than other way around? And he's like, just shut up, Ben. Just shut up. I'm in the Michael Bay camp. Just shut up and make Armageddon.
Really good. You are in the Michael Bay camp.
I don't want to close my eyes. I want to play Animal Crackers on Liv Tyler's belly button.
Okay, just please take a deep breath. You're getting all sorts of weird again. For the 100th time. So the guy who plays Ally Sheedy's boyfriend, Brian McNamara is the actor's name. He plays Frank.
Yep.
I knew I recognized him, and it was like killing me. I'm looking, I'm like, what in the hell is this guy from? And he doesn't have a whole lot to his name, but he does have one role in particular.
He has a lot of TV stuff.
But nothing that you would remember or recognize.
CSI Miami.
Miami.
No, he is.
I know. That's why I said Miami.
Yeah.
Do you know what I remember him from?
Caddyshack 2.
You're god darn right.
Todd Young.
Todd. You're Todd. Like, I just want to say all credit.
He's the worst.
All credit to this guy because at his funeral, they're going to say, Brian McNamara lived a long, wonderful life.
Voluptuous
and
life.
he was Todd in Caddyshack 2, and he was the redneck boyfriend who tried to kill the three-legged dog in Short Circuit. Oh, Johnny, he said.
He's like, you owe me money. It's like, actually, I bought a car with your money.
Yeah.
He's bad.
Yeah, and was it a Corvette that Johnny took apart?
I was a Pontiac, I think, Firebird.
Of course it wasn't a Corvette. He's not affording any Corvette.
What's going to be the TikTok from this episode?
I don't want a TikTok from this episode. Is it me getting angry?
Your mama was a snowblower.
Oh my God. Fisher Stevens played Ben Jabatuya. Hey, jab it to you. Stick it to you. Sal Goodman. This is so terrible. So terrible. And Fisher Stevens is a great actor.
Yeah, and I like the way they have him like mess up words and stuff like that.
Because that's you.
Yeah.
This is you.
I am thinking she is a virgin, or at least she used to be.
Do you have like a list of all of his screw ups?
Yep.
Go for it.
Let's see. Bye, goofy woman. I enjoyed repeatedly throwing you to the ground. Namaste. Bye. Let's see. What else do we got from Ben Djibouti? Please wait for me. I need to go use the jack. Newton Crosby says, it's the John. Or, you look like you've created another Frankfurter's monster. Or, what the heck, Newton? Let's punch the sack. Tomorrow's the next day. Right?
You know, I don't know if you remember one of his greatest roles. He was Iggy in Super Mario Brothers in 1993.
Really?
He's all over the map.
Yeah.
He's been on Friends. You mentioned Hackers, Law and Order.
Secession.
Yeah. God, I'm trying to think of what else. Frasier.
Yeah, he's got a very he has no chin. He looks spineless.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he gets the girl in too.
Who's more offensive, him or Apu?
It's
close, right?
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a documentary about him, so I'd go Apu.
G.W. Bailey. Scroder.
You think he's happy with his career?
Yeah, he had a second resurgence on one of those, like, not CSI, but like one of those. Because
he seems like a handsome man who could probably act, and he's like, I'm in all these goofball like Mannequin.
What the hell? Why can't I not think of what it was? It was like one of those like lawyer shows, right? Like
Suits?
Like the Firm, or I don't know,
Boston Legal.
Yeah, maybe it was something like that. But more importantly, he was an uncredited lieutenant in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
No way, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's cool.
His role as Captain Thaddeus Harris. He was in every single police academy except for 2.
Yeah, 2. You're right.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure.
Because 2 is when it's the other guy, Mauser.
Yep.
But he's in 1. Yeah, hold on, let me double check.
He's in 1 through like 9.
Yeah. Wow, good for him.
Good for you for remembering that.
Yeah, well, it took me a hot second to remember.
That's good.
But yeah, and then of course you already mentioned it. Mannequin. look at your Murderer's Row favorite films. Short Circuit, Splash, Mannequin. Or no, Splash you agree with is garbage.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck, Short Circuit, Mannequin.
Yeah.
that's your Mount Rushmore.
And Weekend at Bernie's is the 4th one.
Weekend at Bernie's I'm with you on. I love that movie.
So what's the difference?
There's a difference. I can't figure out what it is right now. Marvin McIntyre, who played Duke in this movie, I have mentioned to you
We've been over this
1,000 times. He was in Twins,
Back to the Future 3, The Running Man.
Yeah. Is there anybody else you want to talk about from this movie?
No, there's not many people.
Max, what do you like about this movie?
Just Johnny's just spirit to live, and he's just like, he's learning about humanity, and he's just kind of enjoying himself, and the cardboard acting around him, he just gets to shine. It's a very unique robot. I like the government is like kind of covering things up. And
do you like the DeBarge had a song made for this movie, and because of that he got a hit single? I didn't know that. I like that. Is it DeBarge? Hold on,
that doesn't sound like a name.
El DeBarge. I forgot the L. It's El DeBarge. So it's like the DeBarge. El DeBarge. God, Max. There's nothing about this movie that resonates with me.
Fine. I enjoyed it. It's just fun. You got to carry us then. Golden fluffy pancakes. Add flour, milk, eggs. Mix thoroughly. Still lumpy. I think that this is the least amount of chemistry I've seen between a leading man and a leading woman in any film in the 80s. Guttenberg and Sheedy. If I forgo the fact that I don't like this movie and I say, because I can at least respect the robot. False.
I like the
Tom
robot.
Cruise and any woman.
That's not true. Give me. I totally disagree with that. You think there's less chemistry between Tom Cruise and name someone from the 80s?
Mary Stuart, Master Tony, Spaghetti.
Masticholi.
Is that her?
I hate you. I can't even answer your questions. Don't just speak in platitudes. Give me a specific example. Top Gun. From a movie. That Mary Stuart, Master Antonio, or whatever name you were trying to say was not in Top Gun.
Yeah, well, what's the chick from Top Gun?
Kelly McGillis?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly McGillis.
Sister to Kathy Bates.
The chemistry between Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis is greater than the chemistry between Ally Sheedy and Steve Guttenberg in Short Circuit.
Not true.
It is. It absolutely is.
Sleepless in Seattle isn't from the 80s, actually. So.
And that had better chemistry
It did
too.
have pretty good chemistry. Just thinking rom-com. Princess Bride, they're pretty hot. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's not about them. It's about Johnny.
Max, I told you, I'm willing to concede that Johnny carries the movie.
Yeah.
I'm willing to concede that. Let me pose this to you a different way. What does Ally Sheedy or Steve Guttenberg bring to the table in this movie? Because I'd make the case that you love this movie solely because of Johnny Five.
Yeah. So I'm saying because if I have Michael Jordan on my team, I'm going to clear out.
Can you think of any other movie where that's the case?
Where
the robot
lightning strikes a robot?
No. Can you think of any other movie where the robot or the CGI carries the movie?
Well, I can think of one character and I don't care about anything else. The Dark Knight, Joker. Same thing.
That's not
it's a tour de force of performance.
Jeez.
He's on screen. He's electrifying.
Can you please? I just need you to focus because I need you to think through this with me.
So the movie's terrible, but I like it because of one character?
No, I'm saying
okay.
I can't think of any movie I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, I'm even thinking of I'm thinking Jim Henson right now. I'm thinking like Muppet movies. Those are the closest things I can think of where the actual Muppet performance carries the movie and the other characters become irrelevant.
What's it called? Labyrinth.
I think
Hoggle.
See, but you and I disagree with this.
Yeah. Oh, look how attitude you get.
Well, because I think
I do declare.
I think Jennifer Connelly's fantastic at Labyrinth. You think she's flat.
She's pissy.
And David Bowie's incredible in Labyrinth too.
Yeah,
you at least agree with that.
That's true.
And while all the Muppets and puppets and everything are fantastic, that doesn't carry the movie.
Okay.
Dance, magic dance.
A Muppet or CGI thing that carries a movie.
By the way, I flexed the word abouglier to my sister. She was like, she was making some joke about lotion in the basket, and I was like, well, we need an abouglier.
It's not the word.
What is it? Oh, oublier. Yeah. Oublier. I typed it the right way. I said oublier or whatever. She goes, I'm not gonna lie, I had to Google to know what that word was. How the hell do you know what that is? I was like, the podcast. I had to learn what it was. I was like, funny story. It comes up both in The Silence of the Lambs and The Labyrinth. Yeah, Max. I mean, this is where I will agree with you. I will make the argument, and I will agree with you. Johnny Five is the most charming robot in any film ever made.
Yeah.
No question.
T2, maybe.
No.
By the end, when he gives the thumbs up, you're crying.
Yeah, but that's not charming. That's not a robot. I think you're getting confused on what's going on. You understand Johnny Five is not actually alive and not real, correct? So like T2's performance is a human being performing. You understand that, right?
Just dead.
I don't want to do the podcast with you anymore.
Let's go to the spotlight.
No. You do understand Johnny Five is not alive. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Max, I think it's time to go to our Buzzn The Tower fan spotlight. Max, today's Buzzn The Tower fan spotlight is mega fan Earl Clark. Great ad, Max.
Sorry.
I despise you. Earl has his own podcast. It's called Edited for Content. Check it out. Listen to him. He is a huge fan of the show, always providing feedback. I feel bad that we saddled him with Short Circuit.
No.
But that's okay. Let's hear what Earl had to say.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to say thanks for this great opportunity. Love the show. And I'm so honored to get to give you my 2 cents on Short Circuit. Being from the Pacific Northwest, I love the contrast to this film. From the very beginning, there's this military versus hippie vibe, especially from the opening scene where the tanks go mowing down poppies in a field, all the way to, Ally being who she is and just kind of this save nature, vibe thing. It's a very 80s contrast between, the war machine and saving the planet. I absolutely love this film. I love the way it was done. I love the cast was a great collection. My favorite line is, hey, laser lips, your mama was a snowblower. I think it's fabulous. Little side note, I know you guys love trivia and little pieces of history. And one thing I don't know if you brought up in the episode or not, but the cameraman for the news crew was actually John Badham, who is also the director of such films like Drop Zone, Stakeout, Another Stakeout, I think Saturday Night Fever, Blue Thunder, War Games. I just love that piece of trivia, and I think it's very cool. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate what you do. Keep it going.
All right, well, that was an intro. This is a great episode. Great spotlight. It's all fun. No disassemble.
I guarantee this is going to have a huge number.
It's not going to have. Nobody's listening to this show.
I will bet you $1. You're
done.
You set the over-under.
We're going trading places. Are you standard bet, Max?
Okay.
All right. You got it.
Wait, trading places?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I have to be homeless?
No, Max, you don't.
Eat salmon from a Santa suit?
You'd love that. Earl the Pearl.
Yeah, he's not a basketball player from the 70s.
I'm happy that you knew that. Leave it to Earl to make chicken blank out of chicken pie, or what's the? First
chicken salad.
Yeah, chicken salad out of chicken McNuggets. There you go. I at least love that he loves this movie, and I admit this is not a universally hated movie. I just apparently hate it. I didn't realize that.
So I didn't listen to what you said. Making chicken salad out of chicken nuggets sounds delicious.
It does, a chicken nugget salad.
Yeah.
You've already lost you, Max. He sounds like a podcaster.
He does.
And that, by the way, how did you not learn about that nugget about Badham being the guy?
I don't know.
I
was too focused on J5.
Oh man, laser lips. And he loves your favorite quote from the movie.
That's everyone's favorite quote from the movie.
Max. A reminder to check out Edited for Content, which is Earl's podcast. And Earl, thank you so much for popping in. On that note, Max, I will remind everyone, if you've not yet, please subscribe or
submit
more info.
Fatality.
Subscribe, follow, leave a review. Check us out on social media, especially TikTok at Buzzn The Tower, BUZZN The Tower. Website, buzznthethower.com, patreon.com/Buzzn The Tower. Buzzn The Tower, Buzzn The Tower. Did I say Buzzn The Tower?
Buzzn The Tower.
There you go. Max, on that note, we can end this episode the way we started it, with me apprehensively concerned about the fate of our show. How do you want to end, buddy?
Mo, you broke the unwritten law. You ratted on your friends. When you do that, Mo, your enemies got no respect for you. You got no friends no more. You got no one, Mo.
It's great, Max.
Yeah.
And I will end the only way I know how. Who's Johnny? Miami. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.